They're dropping like fucking flies.
Hey, JW here. Just wanted to make a video on the subject I've been making the last few videos on, and that is young people dying suddenly in their 20s and 30s, sometimes 40s and 50s, but a lot of young, seems like more men than women, but there have been young men and women dying in their 20s, and it's unfathomable that mainstream media just refuses to talk about it. And I think we all know the reason why. Just look at the advertisements on the major networks on television, for example. The majority of them are from companies like Pfizer and other pharmaceutical companies. And for them to speculate or even report on what they must know, why these young people are dying, is, in my opinion, it's criminal. And I think that the media, along with a lot of politicians, in fact, all politicians, as far as I'm concerned, that are serving in Congress and the Senate, they're going to be, in my opinion, they should be charged with Nuremberg type crimes, because I believe that they know the truth, that they knew the truth when Pfizer and other pharmaceutical companies were coming out with these, what they referred to as vaccines. This will probably get taken down in this video, but I don't really care. It is what it is. And it was never really a vaccine. And you'll notice that guys like Fauci, they rarely ever called it that. They called it, the COVID-19 shot, or because they knew that in order to be a vaccine, it needs to go through extensive testing and usually takes between 10 and 12 years to develop. So there's no way. And let me tell you something right up front. I'm a conservative. Most people who know me know that, but I'm not a Republican, have never, ever registered as a Republican and never will. I've been a registered libertarian. And for a short time, when I first started voting, being from South Boston and Irish, I was a Democrat. That's just the way you were raised, before I woke up and realized that, the Republicans and the Democrats are all the same. They just take turns screwing the citizens. So that's how I feel about it. But anyway, so I go on every day, and if I could go on every day and make a video of a new young person who's died. The latest one is former Detroit Lions linebacker Jesse Limonier, who died suddenly at 25. Here's a YouTube video that's reporting on it.
I don't know how many videos we're going to be making on topics like this. We have made
quite a few, I'm afraid, like one a day at least, sometimes 3 and 4 a day. And the mainstream media, again, is ignoring it. And if they do report it, they'll say, the autopsy was inconclusive. Let me tell you something. You ask a medical coroner how many autopsies are inconclusive, and they'll look at you like you're crazy, because the whole purpose of doing an autopsy is to conclude the cause of death. And with all the medical machinery we have now in place, and the coroners have the best technology you can find, they pretty much know what causes death. Okay. But again, everyone is tied to the pharmaceutical companies now. And if they tell the truth, they'll be defunded. The pharmaceutical companies will stop advertising on the media. So everything you listen to now has to be jaded. You have to look at it and say, I wonder if they're telling the truth. And in most cases, they're not. I mean, if it's a basic story, sure, they're probably telling the truth about that, but I'm not even certain of that. And but anyway, let's listen to this guy a little bit.
After video of young athletes and also, younger people all of a sudden just dying. Very, very young athletes just walking around. And I'm talking about really young, in a case like 18, 20 years old. They're walking around, then bam, they just collapse.
This man speaks the truth. He's a YouTube independent journalist, citizen journalist, whatever. And he's probably been taken down more than once, I'm guessing. He seems to have how many followers does he seem to have? 42,000 subscribers. So, he's relatively, well thought of by his subscribers, obviously. I mean, he's not huge. There are guys with millions of subscribers who would never talk about stuff like this because they're afraid of losing a lot of income. But a guy like this, it takes guts because he's probably making an income from YouTube. And maybe it's his only income. I don't know anything about the guy other than I pulled up his video and I like what he says because he speaks truth.
And sometimes they just don't make it. This is a very, very, very concerning trend. And I said that on my last video that I made pretty similar to this one. But guys, it happened again to another former NFL player. And he was actually set to play, I believe, in the USFL this spring. Here we go. Former Lions linebacker Jesse Lemonnier, dead at 25. 25 years old. And we don't even have a reason why he passed away. I know you guys have questions. And so do I.
I think we all know, pretty much all of us, even those who pretend not to know. I can kind of understand it. I believe that, I don't know, something like 80% of Americans took the COVID-19 shot. So once you're in the system and you've taken the boosters, it's hard to go against your decision. It's like anything. It's like if you invest in the stock market, you were touting this stock that you said, oh, this thing's going to go through the roof, and then it just collapsed. You're probably not going to go around talking about it because it's embarrassing. You're telling people you lost a lot of money, and it's just embarrassing because, let's say, for example, you got taken by someone. Someone, flim-flammed you out of money, okay? It's embarrassing because you don't want to be thought of as a sucker or a mark. And it's kind of similar to that with the COVID-19 shot that people not only willingly took, set up appointments for, because, rightly or wrongly, they believed the science. Well, here's the facts, folks. The science is what's known as the scientific method, okay? None of these scientists who came out and told you that you need to get this because, you're a science denier. What they forgot to tell you was this wasn't tested by the traditional scientific method. So they're lying. The real scientists weren't allowed to speak. So only those scientists who were either employed by a pharmaceutical company or by the media, those people who went on the media and touted this thing, they should be tried for high crimes and misdemeanors. I mean, this is disgusting what's going on, in my opinion. And every day I pull up a new one, and I'll continue to put videos up whenever I have the time, because I don't care if they take me down or not. It's not a big deal. I don't make any money from YouTube. But I do like making videos, and I like investigating things like this. And so when I found this video, I said, I kind of like this guy. And
Let's read this. Former NFL linebacker Jesse Lemonnier died at 25, the Detroit Lions confirmed Thursday. Details of Lemonnier's death haven't been released.
By the way, I believe that just about 99% of all NFL players were vaccinated. Many teams would not allow you to play if you weren't vaccinated. So if a player is out on the field playing, there's a very good likelihood that they were vaccinated. And again, they weren't vaccinated because it wasn't a vaccine. It was a test drug, a drug that was being tested on humans. And but they assumed it was a vaccine. They believed it was a vaccine because they were told, or at least those who are the medical experts alluded to that. Most of them didn't call it a vaccine. They called it the COVID-19 shot or something of that nature. I'm gonna go back and do some research on that, and maybe I'll do a video. But anyway, I just wanted to put up this video and report another one, and I'll keep you posted if there are any more, and there will be, unfortunately. Take care. JW signing off.
Lemonnier planned to play for the USA